What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mine Something. If you're new here, my name is Jake, and in today's video, GPU mining profits have absolutely tanked. Are there any alternatives out there to make money with your hardware? Yes, there is, and we're going to go over that in detail. I'm also going to show you my Vast.ai rig build, and we're going to cover potential profits. But before we get into the content, if you would, do me a favor and hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so by the end of the video. So if you take a look at hashrate.no right now, at 13 cents per kilowatt hour, a 4090 is only making 12 cents a day in profit, followed by a 4070 Ti at 8 cents a day and a 4080 at 6 cents a day. But as you scroll down the list, it doesn't take very long before you start getting into the negative profitability zone, which is absolutely atrocious. So I've been searching for ways to set myself up for success and to maintain profitability with my hardware. And ironically, we covered this subject matter about 6 months ago. I think I might have been one of the first to mention this. And if you see this particular video right here, it was posted about 6 months ago, an RTX 3090 earns $6 a day. I should have went further down the rabbit hole at that time. I saw the writing on the wall and I knew it was going this direction, especially when we consider the 40 series and what Nvidia has done to nerf these cards. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, Hashforce put out a very interesting video the other day talking about selling all of his crypto, but in that particular video, he eloquently puts this into words that I think would be better suited to just let him say it. So let's take a listen.
As we learn more about higher compute power, we start to learn that Nvidia has really been nerfing their cards for a while now. And that really has become so evident in this 40 series here, especially just completely evident when looking at a card like the 4060 Ti with 8 physical PCIe lanes. Most people, most of the reviewers, Linus Tech Tips, Gamers Nexus, they didn't even notice that it had 8 PCIe lanes, but one of the reviewers did. And they thought this was so weird, that why did they do this? It wasn't because Nvidia saved a lot of money by not putting those extra little thin wires of 8 PCIe lanes in there. They nerfed the memory bus speed across almost all of the 40 series. It was because Nvidia wants to make sure that gaming cards really just don't have any more compute power than they want to sell to a gamer. And it's more apparent to everyone now that the reason why Nvidia has just pushed gamers aside is because they're focusing on AI and enterprise compute systems. And really, doesn't it make sense? Why should Nvidia sell their chips to gamers for hundreds of dollars when they could literally sell them for thousands or even tens of $1,000s to enterprise systems? I honestly can't blame them for that. Gaming cards are just consumer cards. You use it up and you toss it away, and that's all it's used for. But enterprise systems, much like us miners, enterprise compute and data centers are buying that equipment to make money off of it. And that's why Nvidia can sell them for such high prices. But why do I bring this up?
So Nvidia has been aware of where the industry is going for a very, very long time, and that's one of the reasons that they've been doing what they've been doing with the new 40 series GPUs. It's unfortunate for gamers, and it's also unfortunate for us miners. Now, the Nvidia cards are pretty efficient on core intensive algorithms, but not so much memory intensive algorithms, which we happen to know at this point is directly related to performing computations for things like rendering and AI. So there are some providers out there, such as Vast.ai, that are providing compute power by utilizing consumer grade equipment. And this particular website is very, very interesting. It gives you a really good idea at how much this equipment is worth when rented. And knowing what we know now, we can see that profitability is obviously much better to rent your hardware for these services than it is to mine cryptocurrency. So for example here, we have one RTX 4090 that's currently available for 39.5 cents per hour. And we're going to do the math on that. But before we get into it, I wanted to show you guys the build that I just completed for this. Now, you could use any GPU, but there are certainly some that are better than others. So for example, a 3070 is going to get you roughly about 10 to 12 cents. And if you went with a 3080, then you're looking at about 12 to 15 cents, maybe even 20 cents, depending on your other hardware specs. And a 3090 is going to get you about 22 cents. So it really depends on which GPUs you have and if you can properly support them with the correct PCIe lanes, as well as have good upload and download speeds. You also have to be concerned with your processor and how much storage you can provide. So taking all these things into consideration, I felt like the best bang for the buck was definitely going to be a 4090, but I needed to pick one up and I needed to make sure that I had hardware that would support it. So at this point, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did to build my rig, and we're going to cover the costs that were included with that, as well as cover profitability on it and how long it's going to take to hit return on investment. Okay, so we've got two different PCs here. This one I built first, and this case I just picked up maybe a couple of months ago. And what I want to do here, since I'm going to be building a rig for GPU rental on Vast.ai or perhaps Clore.ai, I want to make sure that I have adequate cooling, and I need to swap these components over into this one because the cooling situation is much better here. But when I picked up this particular case, I got an excellent deal on it. I paid $100 for this case, plus the X570 motherboard that I needed for my 5950X. And it's just kind of a Frankenstein machine here. The fans are not the right fans. I don't have enough fans in here to cool this 4090 properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the X570 and the 5950X out of this, and we're going to swap it over into this newer NZXT case that has two of the 140 millimeter fans, a 120 millimeter fan at the bottom. We're going to add another 120 millimeter fan at the back and two more at the top. And I hope that that's going to be adequate to run a 4090 and a 5950X at full throttle, but we're just going to have to wait and see how it goes. I'm also going to add another 32 gigs of RAM, matching the Corsair Vengeance white RGB RAM that I have currently. So after I completed my rig, there is still a lot left to do. And I'm in the process of creating a very detailed tutorial for you guys. We're going to cover things like how to install Ubuntu on a flash drive using Balena Etcher. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of which version of Ubuntu to use. Also, I'm going to show you guys how to configure your drives, how to set up a VLAN, how to set up port forwarding, which ports to use and which not to. We're also going to show you how to SSH into your rig. There is so much more to this than Hive OS, and I'm certainly not an expert in any of these in particular, but I do have a ton of ambition, and I've got some really great resources to utilize, and I want to say a special thank you to IotaPie from Viper.net. He has been a great resource and has taken a lot of time out of his day to kind of walk me through some of these steps. And I also don't want to forget about Terra hosting. So Hawk and the Mining King If you guys are listening, I do appreciate any assistance in this matter. And if you guys are looking for a place to host your hardware, I want you to check this out. After this is over, we're going to take a look at profitability and the numbers and the return on investment.
Are high energy rates cutting into your crypto mining profits? Introducing Terra Hosting, your solution for first-class, hassle-free crypto mining. At Terra Hosting, we specialize in hosting services tailored for GPUs, ASICs, and AI machine learning. Say goodbye to skyrocketing electricity bills and noisy, heat-producing hardware. Our unique service offering combines low electric rates with a community blockchain-oriented data center, while ensuring your equipment stays safe and secure. With Terra Hosting, you simply set it and forget it. Contact us today to learn more and get answers to all your questions. Terra Hosting. Trust as a service.
So one thing to keep in mind as we take a look at these numbers here is the fact that just like crypto mining, the more people that get into this, the lower profitability is going to be. But we're going to take a look at the numbers as they stand right now. Just keep in mind, depending on when you're watching this video, the profitability and the prices of all of these things are going to change. Now, I've listed all of the parts that I have here as well as what I've paid for them. And as far as the motherboard is concerned, this actually came with that case that I showed you guys earlier, and I only spent $100 on the two of them. So I put $50 here for the motherboard, and the Ryzen 9 5950X I got from a guy who wanted to do some trading for some audio video equipment, so it only cost me about $217. The cooler I took off of another GPU mining rig that I already had, so I don't have any cost in that. And then as far as the RAM is concerned, I did already have 2 sticks of RAM, but when I bought that, I paid about $70 for it new, and then I bought 2 more sticks of RAM. So we're looking at about $140 there. As far as the tower is concerned, I had some credit with Best Buy from all of the other purchases that I made, and I used that credit to purchase this case as a Best Buy open box special, and I only spent $50 on it. The power supply, this was about $80 when I purchased it used, and then the hard drive I robbed out of a DVR that wasn't any good anymore. It was a 2 terabyte hard drive, so that didn't cost me anything. And I did order some more 120 millimeter fans to go in that case. I haven't received them yet, but I spent $50 on that on eBay. And the RTX 4090 I found from a local PC builder here, and I was able to pick it up for $1,200, which I thought was a really, really good deal. So all in all, I spent about $1,800 on this. And if we calculate revenue per day on a 4090, it looks like the average 4090 is running for about 40 cents per hour, which is the equivalent of $9.60 per day. Now, Vast.ai does have a 25% fee, so you're going to lose $2.40 there. You also need to pay for your electric usage, and in my particular case, I'm only paying about 4 cents per kilowatt hour. I am going to track all of this over the next 30 days to see exactly how much power I'm using, but we're going to say 600 watts continuously. Maybe more, maybe less, but that's roughly 58 cents. Now, if you're paying 8 cents per kilowatt hour, you can go ahead and double that number. You're looking at about $1 a day. And if you use, let's say, for example, 16 cents per kilowatt hour, then you're looking at about $1.50, $1.60 a day. One thing that nobody else has pointed out so far that I've seen is there is a PayPal fee in order to pay you, which I believe is 3%. Now, I don't have confirmation if that's only on international or not. You can also use Stripe or Wise to get paid, and there's a 1% fee there as well. So we're looking at a total profit right now of $6.34 and a return on investment of 281 days for my specific scenario. However, what if you were to purchase all of this equipment either new or used off of eBay? I think this is a pretty good representation of what you'd be spending on that build, which would be about $2,700, and you'd be looking at a return on investment of about 424 days, depending on what you're paying for power. So stay tuned, guys. I will drop a very detailed tutorial on how to set all of this up, but it's really going to take me some time to figure out a few things. So just bear with me. Hopefully that video is coming in the near future. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Do me a favor before you go, hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and I will see you on the next one.